Starting the edition of This is Exclusive with that first big breaking news now coming in. First on Republic, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. He has been asked to appear before the agency on the 21st. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is the second time that the Chief Minister has been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. The first summons that was sent to the Chief Minister, he did not respond. He did cite personal engagements. He could not appear before the Enforcement Directorate. He's already appeared before the Central Bureau of Investigation in the Liquorgate examination. What we are given to understand now is that he's now been asked to appear on the 21st. So why exactly has the Delhi Chief Minister been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate in the Liquorgate? Top sources within the agency now indicating that following the arrest of senior Aam Aadmi Party leader Sanjay Singh, who was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate, fresh evidence has now come up. In fact, this is an opportunity that has been given to the Chief Minister by the central agency to explain his version on this entire matter. Whether at all the Chief Minister was actually aware of the fact that there were certain changes that were brought in as far as the excise policy is concerned, which a department which was being handled by his colleague and the then Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, Manish Sisodia. What's exactly the role of the Chief Minister? Remember, his name has also appeared in the charge sheets that have been filed by the Enforcement Directorate so far. It's important to underscore here that the Chief Minister has not been named as an accused in this particular case. The only reason why the Chief Minister has now been asked to appear before the Enforcement Directorate is only to take him through certain queries that the agency essentially has with regards to his alleged role. Whether at all the Chief Minister was actually aware of the changes that were brought into the excise policy, number one. Number two, he's also been asked to explain the fact that there were certain meetings that took place at the Chief Minister's residence, where the presence of certain accused is being questioned by the central agency. More importantly, one of the accused, that is Samir Mahendru, who was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate, he in his statement before the Enforcement Directorate under Section 50 of the PMLA Act has essentially said that there was a FaceTime call that was made between another accused in this particular case, who also happens to be the communication in charge of the Aam Aadmi Party, who made that call between Arvind Kejriwal, allegedly between Arvind Kejriwal and the accused. That is the reason why they say that perhaps the Chief Minister was aware of the fact that there was some sort of a quid pro quo. These are allegations that have been levelled, yet to be proven before the court. But it's important to point out here two things. One, whether at all the Chief Minister was part of those cabinet meetings. Number two, whether at all there were some instructions that were passed from the Chief Minister's office to his deputy, that is Manish Sisodia. And more importantly, the level of allegations that have been levelled against the Chief Minister by a top bureaucrat who was serving in the government, who essentially says that certain diktat was actually given by the Deputy Chief Minister with regards to the cutoff. More importantly, the profit margin that was essentially changed from 5% to 12%. That the agencies believe that entire margin of the difference in the profit is largely the quid pro quo that they are looking at, the alleged kickbacks that were received by the political party. In fact, the sensational development that took place inside the court also is the very fact that the agencies believe that the party in itself has been a beneficiary of this particular quid pro quo that has taken place. That is the reason why the agency believes that the Aam Aadmi Party should also be made party to this entire investigation, or perhaps could be seen as an accused in this particular case. Now, if at all Arvind Kejriwal basically responds to this summons, this would be the first time that he would be appearing before the Enforcement Directorate. He certainly has the choice of perhaps skipping, but if that really happens, remember, he would have perhaps another one or another two summons before the central agency moves the court for a non-bailable warrant. So that could turn out to become far more difficult for the Chief Minister. Remember, this also happens just a day before the India Alliance meeting that is going to take place at the national capital. You already have West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, who's camping here in the national capital. There are also reports coming in of the meeting between the two leaders. So politics would certainly take place on this entire matter, because in the past too, you've had a similar sort of allegations being levelled by the India Alliance members. For instance, Trinamool Congress senior leader Abhishek Banerjee also made that allegation against the Enforcement Directorate that just before the India Alliance meeting that actually took place, you did have Abhishek Banerjee also being called in for questioning by the Enforcement Directorate. So it would be very important to see the kind of responses really that comes in from India Alliance members, particularly the Aam Aadmi Party, because you have the party president being called in for questioning. And secondly, whether at all he is right now being called in as just as the Delhi Chief Minister, but also as a party position that he actually holds. Because at the end of the day, the central agency is largely harping on the fact that they are largely looking at what is the role that is allegedly played by the Chief Minister. Joining us on this broadcast is BJP spokesperson, Mr. R.P. Singh. Mr. R.P. Singh, the summons comes just a day before the India Alliance meeting that is going to take place. Your opposition members are largely going to hit out at you by saying that are you nervous of those India Alliance meetings that are taking place, and that is the reason why summons are largely being sent out at a time when they are having these meetings?
Well, these summons have nothing to do with the meetings and alliance meetings. This is purely a technical thing, and then I don't understand why they have to take it to the alliance meeting and all. Earlier, Mr. Kejriwal said that I have to go for campaigning. I mean, the government functions and the government machinery should not work if the minister or the chief minister has to go for campaigning. I don't understand that also. So someone has nothing to do with the meeting. He has been called. Now he should go and attend the meeting. Last time he ducked the meeting on the ground of campaigning. Now he has no reason for that.
Mr. R.P. Singh, with regards to the allegations that have been leveled against the Delhi Chief Minister, as I understand from my sources, one of the biggest difficulties that the central agencies have largely faced is that they have not been able to perhaps map Arvind Kejriwal to the files that have basically moved. So effectively it means that there is no file that has largely been signed by the Chief Minister, pinning the blame on the Chief Minister. That is the reason why you're looking at the Deputy Chief Minister who's been in the talk, because there is enough evidence against the Chief Minister. It also appears that there has been enough evidence that has been gathered by the central agency against Sanjay Singh, but they do find some difficulty when it comes to the Chief Minister. How would you respond to that?
Well, you are among the top 5 people in the public channel. But tomorrow when it comes to the any problem on the public, Arnab Goswami is the first one to be held because he's heading the channel. Tomorrow he can't say that, oh, I have nothing to do with this person's what he has said or no. And basically, responsibility lies with Arnab. Here also the responsibility lies with Arvind Kejriwal because he is the one who is heading it. And then, so he is answerable as a head of the cabinet, whether he signs or not. He is the head of the cabinet. So he is answerable and liable for any action taken by the cabinet or by the colleague.
Well, Sardar R.P. Singh, you do have a point on this entire matter. As I understand, by covering the central agencies, is that the reason why Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal is also being called in for questioning here is that he also holds as an office bearer of the party. They're looking at whether at all the party has allegedly benefited from the quid pro quo and the transactions that have essentially taken place.